sometimes have a problem with slideshows or galleries in Squarespace when the images are different sizes. Um, it it will display them. It'll like automatically crop all the images. As you can see, they look like they kind of match, but previously it was a less high. There was less height on the slideshow, and you can see here when we open this up that there's various image ratios that are being used, and so what happens then on the slideshow is the tallest image kind of sets the height, but it also depends on the smallest width. It's a hard thing to explain, but basically if you right click and get properties and copy the image and then paste it into like an editing kind of software or whatever, you can basically see that the wide image that I have here is 1500 by 650, which is wider than a typical like video format, which is video is typically like 16 by 9. So let me do that here. 160 by 90. So then if I make it the same width, you'll be able to see quickly that, oh yeah, this image is much wider, not as tall as a standard video image. And the reason why I bring that up is because on Squarespace, the 16 by 9 ratio is kind of used for a number of things. So it's used for certainly like video players and things like that. It's just an easy thing to size things to, easy ratio to size things to. But if we go back in again, what I typically do is, if we're going to stick with like a 16 by 9 image, you can actually hit edit, and there's a built-in photo editor called Aviary, which is kind of cool. It's like a little hidden secret. And what we can do is we can cycle through the number of ratios that are kind of standards, kind of like default ratios, which would allow us to actually crop the image. The original doesn't show up what the ratio is, but what we could do is click through, and if you wanted to crop the image to any one of those ratios, then basically you could kind of plug through all of your slideshow images and crop them at like 16 by 9, for example. Unfortunately, like the widest width in here would be 16 by 9, so we can't really use the ratio. But since we're on the topic of ratios, what we can do is you can use a ratio calculator, and we could put in here 1500. There's a tutor who popped up in the lower right. 1500 by 650, and then it'll show you that, okay, the ratio is 30 to 13, which, okay. Again, we don't see anything close to that in here, but what we could do is we could just go ahead and crop all of our images to the same dimensions. Okay, let's just go ahead and do that then. So 1500 by 650. And we'll just adjust it so we get kind of the best crop. We want to show maybe a little bit of the horizon line, or just good. Perfect. Then it'll save it back in here, and it'll refresh. Sometimes you'll have to refresh the whole screen. It looks like it's doing a better job. And then we can just go into each one of these and kind of do the same thing. And our last image, which is more of a 4 by 3, it looks like, but let's make that one. I guess we can take the utility pull out, keep the containers in, show the water bladder down below, and hit save. All right, so then if I hit save here, and then if I go ahead and refresh, then now we've kind of solved our problem. So all images match now, And if I refresh it and do like a clear cache kind of refresh, which sometimes takes a little while, there we go. Then what we'll have then is a more close to you know, close to the way it was designed is basically our goal there. So, all right, thank you.